guys? Thank you for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast, where we talk all about them Pittsburgh Pirates net. My name is Josh. Today is August 26th. Tough loss in Seattle. St. Louis last night. I got Seattle on in the background. Got my mind off of it. I have thoughts about this one. Let's get into them.
I'm bummed out, but yeah.
So, listen, I'm just going to cut straight to the chase. Andrew Heaney should get the loss and the DFA after this game. All because of a stupid bonus that he didn't even earn. How bizarre is it that we will say that last night he earned $50,000 more dollars and he did not earn a loss for giving up the game? This, to me, will continue. And I know I talk about this kind of stuff all the time. I'm bringing it up again here. But this will continue to be the reason, one of the many reasons, why I don't care about pitcher wins and losses. Because we're staring at a situation last night where the game clearly, Pirates in control. Oviedo comes out, Heaney comes in, and again, for the second straight appearance, can't get out of a single inning. Can't get 3 outs. This is a guy who has experience in the bullpen. He should be able to do this. He just gave up 1 run last time, but he wasn't able to get out of the inning. This time, it's 5 runs. Obviously, 4 scored while he was there. Holderman gives up a single to score the other one, but they're all Heaney's runs, and the lead had already been given up. We're down 2 after it's all said and done. He's ineffective. He hasn't pitched well since, August 6th, you could say 4 2/3 in 1 run. That's not really, 76 pitches and 4 2/3 isn't getting it done either. And that was a start. Before that, it was the 5 innings he threw against Arizona. But the start before that was 7 runs, 3 runs, 4 runs, then a 0, and then 7, 7, 3. Like, it's been a while. And every once in a while, he would have an outing that was fine. We're well beyond that at this point. On August 17th, he was called out of the bullpen 1 inning shy of a $50,000 bonus incentive. And he only got 2 outs. And he was taken out of the game without that incentive. Now, he gave up a hit. He gave up a walk. He gave up a run. I'm telling you, the Pirates probably said we could have tried to see if he could get through that inning. And then August 18th, he'd have been gone. Or whenever, right? Whenever it would have happened. Here we are, August 25th. We put him into another game, hoping to get some innings because we just had Oviedo go 4 innings. More on that later. Hoping to get 2 or 3 innings out of Andrew Heaney, and he's not capable of doing it. And yet, he doesn't get the loss for this game. I understand how the rules work. Dennis Santana's in the game. He gives up the home run. They lose the lead. All that. It's obvious, right? It's obvious Dennis Santana gets the loss. But in a situation like this, there are times. Let's say a guy comes in and gives up 5 runs, and then his team retakes the lead the next inning, and another guy comes in and throws 2 shutout innings. There are times they'll give that win to the guy who threw the 2 shutout innings. You're allowed to do that as the official scorer. For me, in a situation like this, Andrew Heaney gets the loss. That's not how it's scored. It's probably never how it'll be scored. The Pirates came back and tied the game afterwards. But that's why this stat is broke. It's scored correctly, right? But this is what it looks like. This is why I don't care about it. He was the reason that the Pirates lost that game. As a matter of fact, I'll even double down on it. That pitch from Dennis Santana was a ball low and in. It was a good pitch. He executed exactly what he was supposed to execute. And I have no idea how Burleson hit that ball out to center field. I have no clue. So, whatever. That's the way it goes. Let's talk Oviedo because he was pulled after 4 innings and 53 pitches. Don Kelly said after the game that they were keeping him. This was the plan, keeping him at 4 ups. Each inning he gets up to go pitch. 4 ups and 60 pitches. So he went 4 and 53. This is why it's not an issue that he was taken out, because this is what they planned on doing. This was not a, wow, you had a quick hook, you shouldn't have taken him out, you should have left him in the game. No, Andrew Heaney needed to execute. And it's going to be the way, it's going to be this way the rest of the way out this season. Whoever comes in for these pitchers when they're taken out has to execute, or it's on them. It's not going to be on the starting pitcher for only going 4 or 5 innings, or probably in some cases only 3 innings. When you do these piggyback starts, you may ask for 3 and 3 and then turn it over to the bullpen. This is a difficult thing to do because you're essentially using 2 guys for a roster spot of 1, but this is where they're at right now. They're going to be watching this stuff, so let's talk about that before we get out of here today. Oviedo obviously did not pitch last year, coming off of Tommy John and then a setback. It's in their best interest to protect these arms and not overdo it. This season is lost. If Andrew Heaney goes into the game and loses it for the team, so be it. It's not the wins and losses that are really going to matter at this point. What we saw from Oviedo was really good. What we saw from an offense that was able to score 6 runs, even though they weren't scoring with runners in scoring position. You had back-to-back home runs from Reynolds and Horwitz. Horwitz, I talked about him last week on a show. He's been good, and there's no way around it. He's a good hitter right now. So even Triolo, 2 hits again, continuing to do what he's doing. Listen to yesterday's show, Sunday night's live show, to hear more about that. But just to level set, right? We're going to talk Oviedo first. We're going to go down through this pitching staff, and the first couple are going to be what they are. Just to level set, Oviedo now has 10 innings in MLB, 26 innings in AAA. But we just kind of talked about him coming off injury. Skeens is different, but we'll state them all. 160 and a third innings pitched last year. He's at 161 innings this season so far. So I would imagine a guy like Skeens with 160 innings last year, he's probably going to be pushed. I mean, we've said this before. We think that they'll get him to the 200, but maybe not. Maybe 185. Somewhere between 185 and 200 is probably where Skeens is going to land, and that's okay. Mitch Keller was at 178 last season, but he was at 194 and a third in 2023. He's at 145 right now. I just don't see why you would limit anything there. It's going to be up to performance for Mitch Keller and performance alone. Now, Mike Burrows, 54 and 2/3 innings pitched last season. 50, not 154, 54 and 2/3 innings. TJ the year before, so he only pitched in 6.2 innings pitched in 2023. So here we are, 32 and a third in AAA this year, 76 and 2/3. That's 109 innings pitched. That's 1 out away from having double the innings pitched from last season for Mike Burrows. So, I mean, I don't know where we're at. I don't know how far he goes, but Mike Burrows is a guy that's pretty, like, he's blowing it away, what he's done in the past. And so they're going to be watching him closely, and he's going to be a guy that might be sitting at 4 ups and 60 pitches for a few of his outings, right? I mean, that's well within reason for a guy like him, coming off of essentially 55 innings, and he's sitting at 109 now. Carmen Mlodzinski in 23 pitched 62 innings. In 24, 69 innings. These are the 2 seasons that he's been moved to the bullpen. And so far this season, he's at 96 2/3. The only time Mlodzinski has pitched 96 innings was in 2022 when he threw 105 1/3 in Double-A. And then they moved him to the pen, and here we are at 96 2/3, 97 innings essentially, which is almost 30 more than what he had last year. It's 28 more than what he had last year. So even Carmen Mlodzinski, he's going to be working out of the pen, so his is going to be a little bit easier, but he's going to eclipse 100 innings, probably 110. And so you're looking at something different there. Braxton Ashcraft in 23 had 52 2/3. In 24, jumped up to 73 innings. He's had some little nagging injuries here and there in the last couple of years. That's limited his innings in the last couple of years. So far this year, he has 95 innings pitched. That's 48 1/3 in AAA, 46 2/3 in the majors so far. 95 innings pitched after last year having 73. 53, 73, 95. How far do you stretch Braxton Ashcraft? They're going to be doing this. They're going to be limiting this. And this is smart, right? The whole reason Oviedo ran into the problem he ran into, when we look back at his seasons, he had that's not even, am I looking at, where are we at here? Oh, I'm in minors, my bad. Because, I mean, we had to bounce back and forth for Oviedo. He was pitching out of the bullpen. In 2022, he threw 56 innings in the major leagues between St. Louis and Pittsburgh. He also threw 61 innings. Yeah, 61 innings in the minors. Yeah, you know me. I'm going to have to do that. That's somewhere around 117, let's just say 120 innings in 2022. And the Pirates just kept him out there for 32 starts and 178. And that's where a lot of people said, did they go too far with him? Did they push him too hard? If you remember the back end of that year, you had Keller and Oviedo, and that was it. Everybody else was doing what we're doing right now. And a lot of people said it was too much, and that was what was to blame. The Pirates aren't going to make that mistake again. They're not going to. So here we are. Obviously, Ashcraft, Mlodzinski, Burrows, and the last guy on the Major League roster right now is Bubba Chandler. He's a little bit further along than some of these guys, right? 111 innings pitched in 23, 119 2/3 in 24. And so far this year, he's at 104. Bubba Chandler, this is why I said when he was called up and he was pitching out of the bullpen, this is why I said he will start this season. Because when you start seeing Burrows and Ashcraft, Mlodzinski's already in the pen, but Burrows and Ashcraft, they're going to have to make a decision on them. Those guys are going to have to start throwing less. Ashcraft's already gone out of the bullpen. Burrows a little bit. And so I think that that's going to flip a little bit. And Chandler's going to be able to, maybe, if they can limit him in his next few outings to a couple of innings and so on, then you could probably see, I don't know, maybe he goes between 130 and 140. That's another essentially 30 to 40 innings. So in that case, he's going to get some starts where he's going to be able to go out 5 innings if he can go out for 5 innings. And might as well talk about it now for Bubba. I mean, you're talking about what, 175 next year? I mean, already have your headset. He's not just unleashed next year, right? He's going to be capped at probably around 175 if he throws 130, 140. So he's going to have to be shut down at some point, maybe one of those mid-season shutdowns, or I don't know, maybe they slow roll him next year. Is that a thing that they could do? Maybe an Ashcraft treatment? I don't know. I mean, we don't know what this rotation is going to look like, but this is something that they're going to have to think about. And guys, this isn't a problem. This is kind of smart. Couple other guys to bring up just to bring them up. Thomas Harrington, 23, he threw 127 in a third. In 24, it was 117 in a third. And this year so far, it's 103.2 between AAA and MLB. And so Harrington has taken a step back a little bit this year. We've seen that. But he's conditioned to go. He had a little bit of a set down this year with an injury, so he missed a little bit of time. So I don't know that he really eclipses much. I mean, he threw 127 2 years ago. So, I mean, for him to get up to 130 would be reasonable. I don't know. Maybe you see him called back up at some point just because he has innings available. That could happen. And Hunter Barco, the guy that we're all clamoring for right now to replace Heaney, last year he threw 66 innings. This year so far, he's at 89 2/3. It's the most he's ever pitched. The highest in college was 83 innings in 2021. This is the most he's ever pitched. So he could be next up, but even if he is, he's quite literally taking Heaney's spot, hoping they can maybe get a couple innings and onboard him into the major leagues if he's called up by giving him a cup of coffee and letting him pitch against major league hitters, but not more than a couple of innings at a time. I would imagine, and I have no... with any of these, I have not heard anything, but I can imagine him being capped at maybe only like 110 innings pitched. I don't know. Could it be that low? He's at, what did we say, 89? So you got 30 more innings from him too. I could see something like that. You might be stopping around that. And what's the math? How many starts do you get? I mean, we're 1 month essentially from the end of the season. So, you know, four outings if you're looking at starts. You know what I'm saying? So like these are all within the realm of possibility to not be shut down, but they will be limited when they go out there and throw. This is what makes me believe that Bubba still gets 2-3 starts this season where he's even allowed to go 4 to 5 or 5 innings, I would say. I don't know. It's really interesting. A lot of management to do here for the Pirates. All in all, the problem last night was not taking Oviedo out. That's going to happen. The problem was Andrew Heaney being on the roster altogether and being put in the game.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this.
So anyway, that one's on Andrew Heaney, even though he will not have an L in his win-loss column to account for that, which, by the way, for those of you who care, he's 5-10 on the season. You don't care, though. You just don't. Nobody does. I mean, some people do. And individuals, they do. Whatever. We're not going to go down that path. We're going to play music, and we're going to push it on to tomorrow. Thanks for listening. You made it through Monday. Happy Tuesday. Let's go, Bucs.
Thanks for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Subscribing to your platform of choice is the best way to be notified for new episodes. And now, new episodes every weekday. Remember, live shows with my dad and Uncle Jake are Sundays at 9 p.m. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and join them in the live chat every Sunday. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at bridge2 Buctober. Clear the deck, cannonball coming, and let's go Bucs.